Story 1. Creep NASA. About a year ago, I was with my friend. I don't want to say her name for privacy reasons, but we'll call her Emma. Emma and me were going to the mall. I knew when we get there, we would see some people that she knew. Not that I knew, because I didn't open my circle much to other people, enough to make new friends. I don't remember much from that day, since it was a pretty long time ago, and I'm not friends with her anymore. The way we were getting there was by the city bus. She had 2 $1 free bus pass cards with her, for me and her. When she said that we were going to the mall on the bus, my heart sort of dropped. I have no explanation why. I just had a weird feeling. My mom knew I was going to the mall, and so did Emma's. They trusted us enough, and my mom dropped me off at Emma's house. We were there for about a half an hour, while I was sitting on her couch, and she was getting her unfinished chores done, so her mom would give her money for the mall. We then walked over to the nearest bus stop, right across the street from where she lived. We waited a longer time than expected, because we somehow didn't notice that we missed the bus. It had probably stopped at a bus stop a few blocks down. We waited there for another 30 minutes, but it felt more like an hour. It began to rain half the time we were waiting there. We both decided to get under the bus stop place. It had 2 little benches and something to cover our heads. The moment we both sat down, we both got our butts wet, so we immediately got up. The bus finally arrived, and we were filled with joy, until we got on and realized there was a lot of sketchy people. But one seemed to pop out the most. He was wearing a shirt that said NASA on it. It stands for National Aeronautics and Space Administration. You are maybe wondering why I just randomly said that. Well, this information will be important later on. Me and my friend has sat a few seats away from this man. He looked a bit strange. I quickly realized a few minutes later that he had been staring at both of us. I whispered to my friend, "Don't stare right away, but the man who looks weird near us is staring right at us." He then, right after, said, "Hello, how are you two?" I noticed my friend was more scared and in some type of shock because she hadn't noticed before that he was staring at us, and I had just told her so. In that moment, I felt like I was in some type of dream, because I had read and heard true scary stories, and they always began in this type of way. We both said, in a kind of scary voice, "We're okay," in horrible and scary silence. Then again, and a few minutes later, he asked me if I knew what my shirt meant. I quietly said no. He then explained to me what it was, and I said, "Oh wow, I didn't know that." Then my friend had gotten on her phone and texted me, "Our stop is soon, thank God." And I replied, "Yeah, thank God." We got off, and the man got off too. And that's when me and my friend really got ticked off. Instead of being suspicious and whispering to one another, we got our phones out and texted each other a short and brief conversation. I was the first one to text and say, "The guy is right behind us, Emma. Should we run? Walk fast? Call 911? She replied, "We shouldn't run unless he gets any closer." Remind you, he was half a block away from us. He then started walking in a sort of speed run. Me and my friend were right behind the mall, which was close to the store, Macy's. We began running, and the man sort of just stopped and walked back. He went into the store and talked about what had just happened for a few moments and told the people that we ended up meeting with. I don't know about her, but my adrenaline was pretty high. We were there for about an hour, around maybe 45 minutes, and I had mostly completely forgot about what had happened to me and my friend. I had bought a smoothie and earrings. My friend bought a shirt and a hoodie, and a strawberry refresher. I got a call from my mom, and she wanted to pick me up, and I was already pretty tired, and really wanted to go home. My friend also decided to leave. She had to get on the city bus to get back home. The situation with the man came back to me, and I could feel my heartbeat racing for some reason. We both walked out from where we came in, Macy's. We both joked about how the man would randomly pop up again. I seriously do not know why we did that. We were standing by a garbage bin that was right next to the exit and entrance of the door. We were both on our phones, waiting for the bus and my mom to show up. My friend was still next to me because of the situation that had happened, and we both knew that being in pairs was better than being alone. Then, I get a call from my mom, saying she was only a few minutes away, and to get my stuff and everything ready to go. My friend's bus was coming in around 5 minutes. We then both got off our phones and realized there was that same man, a few feet from us, sitting in between two bushes, staring at us. I thought he was homeless and maybe lived next to the mall, where there was a bathroom and occasionally food. He got up and began walking toward us in a very slow way, as if time made him go in slow motion or something. I then noticed my mom's car was coming towards me, and my friend and the man started walking away slowly in slow motion. We were both really relieved. My friend Emma got into the car, and my mom was confused. I then explained what happened, and she was more than happy to take her home. Me and her spoke about it over text, but then we never spoke about it again. That was one of the worst things I have ever experienced, and I hope not to some other day again. Weird stranger at the mall. Let's not meet again. Story 2. The Blue Flame. I was around the age of 5 when this happened. It was a typical cold winter weekend night, and I was a kind of an annoying kid sometimes. I look back and love and appreciate my mother for having to deal with me as a kid. I was really bored, so I kept nagging my mom and asking her if she could take me to the store or to my cousin's house or somewhere fun, and she said no. It was already night and dark outside. I now look back and now know why she said that. She got really annoyed that she just told me to go ask my dad if he could take me and my brother and sister to the store. My brother is 1 year younger than I, and my sister is 3 years younger. They were sitting on the couch with my dad, watching TV. I then asked my father if he would take me and my siblings to the store. He said no the first few times, because he had agreed with my mother. But then he felt bad, so ended up taking us. Me and my siblings all got our rain clothes on, raincoat, and rain boots. I'm pretty sure my dad got out before me and my siblings because when we all got out of the house to get into the car was already parked to go. We were halfway to the car, and my dad yells, "Oh, I forgot the car keys and my wallet." He then asked me if I could take my siblings to the car and put their seatbelts on them. We all got into the car, and my sister was sitting on the seat behind the driver's seat with her seatbelt on, so she couldn't see the driver's seat like me and my brother. So, me and my brother were both halfway standing up, since we were both a bit taller than the car was. Our heads were slightly down, touching the top of the car. I noticed my brother turned around, and I looked at the driver's seat for a good period of time. I noticed a blue glowing floating thing was sitting there. It scared me at first, but it looked like one of the little blue things that Brave the Disney Princess was stepping on in the movie. I was 5, so I thought it was so cool that I had encountered one. Right when I saw the blue light, everything sort of felt dizzy, like it was spinning, but I could still see the seat and the blue thing on it so clearly. It drove around my house a few times. I asked my brother if he saw that too, and I think he ignored me. But then we both saw my dad come out. We both sat down, but I don't remember where me and him sat exactly. I whispered to him and remember him kind of brushing it off. He mumbled something, but I don't remember, and I couldn't hear well. Everything sort of felt dizzy after seeing the blue thing. We get to the store, got our candy, and left. We were all getting off the car, and for a moment, I had the urge to tell my mother and dad, but I did not end up doing so. I was too scared that they wouldn't believe what I had just seen, and I thought if I told my brother, and he did not also see it, he would make fun of me. A few years later, I'm around the ages of 8 to 10. I remember that memory and the thought maybe it was a dream at first, but told myself that it felt way too real and vivid to have been one. I told my brother about it 2 times. The first time, I was really scared for some reason. I built the courage to tell him, and he said that he did remember, but he kind of ignored the rest, and I just left him alone. Then, a few months later, or 1 to 2 years, I remember that memory and already telling him once. I told him again, and he explained it more, and he did not brush it off anymore. He said he also saw the blue floating thing, and that he thought he was the only one that saw it. I told him about it going in circles around my apartments. He said he also remembered that. I felt like he lied about that part, because he stopped making eye contact, turned around, and went quiet. Maybe he felt bad, or just said that for some reason. I then told him again, a few minutes ago, and he explained it more, and was way more open about it. He said that he saw a blue flame floating thing, but that he didn't see the car go around the house. But I did. I did not ask my sister, because she couldn't see anything from where she was sitting. As I've mentioned before, it still gives me chills to this day, thinking or talking about it. I'm very happy that my brother finally decided to be way more open about what happened, and was very honest about everything. I now know that what's happened was seen by 2 people, and had most in fact had to be real.